Hi BookTube, this is Rosemary again at Earth's Corners, and I'm back today to film the Classics book tag. Number 1 on the Classics book tag is an overhyped classic that you didn't like. Well, I don't know about overhyped, since I don't think there's any argument that it's probably one of the foundational texts of 20th century Western literature. However, didn't like on that. Why? I don't have anything more to say about this. Number 2, favorite time period to read about. Frankly, I don't really think I have a favorite time period to read about. I like reading classics from every time period that there is. I would say the earliest classic I have read is from about 500, really 500 AD. No, that's not even true because I read the Iliad and the Odyssey, which are, I believe, earlier than that. And then I also read modern classics, and I really couldn't say that I have a distinct preference for one over the other. Number 3, favorite fairy tale. When I was growing up, the stories I was fascinated by were not the Brothers Grimm or the Hans Christian Andersen, but were in fact Greek and Roman myths. This was one of my very favorite books as a child. This is the D'Aulaire's book of Greek myths. My favorite myth, the story of Asclepius, who was the Greek, he wasn't a god, he was a mortal, but the Greek patron of medicine. And this is the legend from which we get the staff of Asclepius, which is the symbol of medicine, which is the staff with one snake twining around. It's not the staff with 2 snakes and wings. That's the Hermes staff. That's different. But I will show you the illustration. There we go. That's right there in the middle. That's Asclepius raising the dead. And so the gods had to kill him in the end because the fates couldn't have him messing up, entangling the skeins that they were weaving and measuring and cutting. Number 4, what's the classic you're most embarrassed not to have read? Hands down, Catcher in the Rye. Nope, I've got no excuse. Don't judge me. I even like Salinger. No excuse. Top 5 classics you want to read soon. This one was easy. I just picked off of my April TBR list. So the next 5 things coming up on my April TBR list that I would consider classics: Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart; The Selected Writings of Sir Thomas Browne; King, Queen, Knave by Vladimir Nabokov; The Waves by Virginia Woolf; Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. Favorite modern book or series based on the classic? I would say that would have to be Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials series, which is based loosely on Paradise Lost. Favorite movie or TV series based on the classic? This is a really easy one. Jeremy Brett's Sherlock Holmes. Oh my God, I love that man. And I love Sherlock Holmes. I mean, there's just nothing but good going on there. Just watch it. 8. Worst classic to movie adaptation. I want to say almost every Sherlock Holmes that isn't the Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes, except for Benedict Cumberbatch, because Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing. And you've already heard me complain about the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes, which I should just not even say those words because it enrages me too much. Number 9, favorite editions that you would like to collect more classics from. I don't collect editions, but I do have a thing for one particular illustrator. His name is, his name was Fritz van Eichenberg. He was a Quaker, which I'm a Quaker. He did woodcuts, and he was also famous for illustrating Dorothy Day's Catholic Worker newsletter. So it's kind of a dorky reference here. I'm going to show you, I've got two books that he illustrated. He was particularly famous for doing the Russian classics, but I have his Jane Eyre and his Wuthering Heights. So I'm just going to show you the covers. This is the Fritz van Eichenberg cover of Jane Eyre. And here's Wuthering Heights. Sorry for the glare. And I'll show you some of my favorite illustrations from each one of them too. Here's Cathy dreaming of Heathcliff. And here's Jane meeting Mr. Rochester for the first time. These are really lovely books. I would really, really like to get more books illustrated by Fritz Eichenberg. I don't know if any editions with his illustrations are still in print, so it's going to be a trawl through lots of used bookshops, but I am up for the task. Last but not least, an underhyped classic you would recommend to everybody. Well, I don't know about everybody, but one of my favorite authors is Sir Thomas Browne. The first thing I ever read of his was his little short book, Urn Burial. It comes in this tiny little edition from New Directions Pearls. And it's this delightful, wonderful meditation about death and mortality and the uncertainty of fate and the meaning of meaning and what's the point of living when we all pass away in the end. So that's what I mean when I say I wouldn't recommend it to everybody. If you don't enjoy meditating on your own mortality, you would not enjoy this. However, for anybody that does enjoy grappling with those questions, it is so wonderful, and it is definitely overlooked, and yet it is one of my favorite books and essays, really. It is so short, and it's such a great introduction to Sir Thomas Browne, who is an author I really enjoy. All right, bye for now. I'll see you in a few days. Happy reading!